Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. It's your boy, me, Celine Driver, doing another in my series of walking and talking and lately not walking videos. Today I wanted to touch on a subject that it comes close to. Forgive me, I'm pulling a window over here because I have a couple of things open that really, it's almost annoying to behold the complete lack of knowledge that's out there in the public space. I know that, how should we put this? I know that the education system has changed over the course of years. But the complete lack of teaching of things like basic civics, basic how government works kind of thing, is really shocking to me. And recent events in the news, well, news, more like state-run propaganda in a lot of cases, but never mind that. That's another video idea for another day. And the complete lack of understanding how things work in the public is quite shocking to me. Things that I was taught in middle school and early high school seem to have either been knocked out of subsequent generations' heads or never put there to begin with. I'll give you an example. Something as simple as democracy versus representative republic. We are not a democracy, my friends. Democracy, in its simplest form, or simplest explanation, is two wolves and a sheep trying to decide what's for dinner. That's one person, one vote. Across an entire society, I guess you could say, with majority rule with little or no protection for the rights of the minority. That's a democracy. It has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. But the United States of America is not a democracy, my friends. It is a constitutional representative republic. Meaning that we elect representatives who allegedly represent our interests in whatever level of government you choose to look at, whether it be the city level, town level, city level, county, state, or federal level. So when you hear about people who are supposedly well educated, or supposed to know what they're talking about, we are a democracy. No, we are not. As I said, democracy is two wolves and a sheep trying to decide what's for dinner. Another two things that are related to each other are the concept of federalism and the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. Now, federalism, for those of you who don't know, and from what I've been able to see out there in the world, whether it's the news or talking with other people that I know, no offense, but you don't. What is the concept of federalism? I'm reading this right off of my computer screen here. Federalism is a mixed or compound mode of government that combines a general government, ergo a central or federal government, the people in D.C., for those of you from Bradenton, Florida, with regional government, ergo provincial, state, cantonal, territorial, or other subunit government, in a single political system dividing the powers between the two. Now, for those of you who don't know, even though you should, our system of government is a federalist or federalism system. We have a federal government, we have states, and we have local, be that county, township, city, what have you. And we elect representatives at all levels, right? Okay. The other concept that seems to be lacking, why do I bring up federalism before I go to the other thing? Why do I bring up federalism? It's because our government is purposely divided its powers among the several levels of government, meaning that a state or county or city can pass laws for their specific region. And as long as the laws of the county, let's say a county, like the one I live in, as long as those laws don't conflict with the state of Florida or the federal government, those laws are legal and can be enforced. For instance, the county I live in can't pass a law saying that murder is legal under certain circumstances because that would violate state law, which takes supremacy over county law or city law, and would also violate federal law, which takes supremacy over the other three levels of government that I've named: county, city, state. So, that's federalism. Our governmental system is purposely subdivided with certain powers enumerated to each level. Now, why do I bring that up? Because I want to bring up the 10th Amendment to the Constitution. This is key. This is something that every student in school should know. And I quote the exact contents: "The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people." What does that mean in plain English? The amendment says that the federal government only has those powers specifically granted to it by the Constitution: declare war, collect taxes, regulate interstate business activities, etc., etc. Those powers that are not designated to the federal government by the Constitution or prohibited to it by the states are reserved elsewhere, mostly at the state level. So, in light of the recent decision, the Dobbs decision out of Mississippi, all that decision did was send the power back to the states, because it was determined that that power did not reside in the Constitution. So, regardless of my opinion on that particular topic, I don't want to say the topic because I don't want to get demonetized. Regardless of my opinion on the topic, and being a libertarian at heart, you probably figure out what my opinion is on that subject. Regardless of how I feel on that subject, one way or the other, it is a power designated to the states. Therefore, the overreactions that I see on both sides, those that say that this activity is going to be made illegal and sent back to the underground from where it was back before 1973. That's wrong. That's wrong. It's up to the states to decide, not the federal government. It doesn't have that power. It never did have that power. Even liberal justices and liberal legislators said that the original 73 decision was bad law. Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg said so. Consequently, those who are celebrating the decision as a great victory to ban the practice forever, you're wrong too. You're overreacting. It is not up to you, it is not up to that decision to ban it or make it legal. It simply returned the power back to the state level where it belonged. For people like me who believe in small government and the government is too powerful and too overreaching, this decision is a wonderful decision with respect to the fact that it returns power to the states and therefore re-emphasizes and reinvigorates the concept of federalism. And that's all I wanted to say on this subject. It's not for me to decide how a person conducts themselves with respect to medical decisions or anything like that. That's outside the scope of this discussion, and it's outside the scope of what I believe personally. All I'm interested in is the reinvigoration of the concept of federalism and the reinvigoration of the 10th Amendment. And that's something that is woefully inadequately taught in our schools. And that's sad, and that needs to change. The concept of federalism needs to be taught in schools as part of a civics class or part of an American history class, as does the Constitution and what it can and cannot guarantee to the American citizens. That's all I got for today's Not Walkin', and Talkin' video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. This is your boy, Celine Driver. And I am out.